you know.
Namaste.
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 Namaste. We're here visiting wonderful California with Orly and with David Spero, and it's wonderful to see them again. And so we were having some nice conversation, and it's gone into something that's maybe interesting for people. I don't know. So here we are.
It took us some time to probe deeply into the spiritual. We were having a lot of fun, just talking informally.
Preliminaries, yeah.
But we just struck, I feel, gold.
We
because
struck gold.
you started to share something which is very important about the nature of a genuine spiritual master.
Yeah.
And I think what you were saying, if I can just introduce this idea by means of dialogue, is that you cannot find the genuineness in an awakened being. All you can find are incidentals, peculiarities, idiosyncrasies. But what you cannot find and discover is that inherent detachment and self-transcendence, which never takes any form, and that many students apparently are looking more for that, for the peculiarity, for the symptom of enlightenment, rather than the actual heart awakening.
Right. Well, that's it, you know, and what I tell them, all you can tell them is you're not in this consciousness, you know, and you can't do it by externals. You can't they have to look a certain way, walk a certain way, talk a certain way, and then that will prove their enlightenment, you know, but it doesn't. So the last thing that I told somebody was read the Vivek Chudamani, and it will tell you, you know, that you can't judge it. But like I say, you can't judge a book by its cover. You can't. Because some will lay like a slug, some will act like they're mad, some will be in the world, some will be not in the world, and they're all in the state of realization, that same consciousness. But so you can't go by what they're wearing or how they're talking or how they're presenting. There are no external factors that are going to say that's an enlightened being. And people get taken to the cleaners because they want somebody that's going to fit all of their fantasy notions about what they read about an enlightened being. And 99 times out of 100, they take the stories of the ones that have been enlightened and realized, and they clean everything up and bring it into this fantasy notion and land again. You know, people say, well, you're wearing makeup, therefore you're in vanity and this and that. What you know, what do you want, people? You know? No, there's nobody here. I'm no one, I'm nothing. No one, I'm nothing. There is no story any longer. But what do you think that means? That you should walk around and never take a bath or never what? Or what does it prove? I mean, should you be wandering shoeless? What does it matter? If they're at that point in makeup, or if you're in sannyasi robes, or what, it doesn't matter, because none of that means anything any longer. All of that stuff is only significant when you're in the midst of the journey and you're thinking, oh, this is spiritual, you know? Well, what's not spiritual at the end of the journey? You know, all that's left is life, and we live it in the moment, and it's fully, you know, it's not separate, not two. There's no separation. So there's no games. What game is left? You know, the problem I have with a lot of the spiritual community is they have this game of the humility, and if you were really humble, you know, and all of this other nonsense. There's nothing more humble than just being what you are and who you are and just being with that. I mean, no bullshit, no games. People like the game of humility along the way. Oh, have to talk soft and have to do this and have to do that. But what's less humble about just being what's there.
This is real satsang. This is the genuine explanation. Many people want the package. The
Bells and whistles.
The package looks holy, and there's a great confusion. Just to phrase this in another way, between holiness and realization. And holiness can appear only when there is episodic enlightenment. Because when you reintegrate back into your humanness, all you have to show for your realization is your life. And if it's not coming out every second through your natural process of living, it's not full awakening. If you have to appear trance-like, if you have to appear like you're absorbed, you're only showing that you're still on the level of savakalpa-like samadhi experiences. So we're talking here about sahaja samadhi, when the relaxation back into the human form becomes natural and unimposed upon oneself. In other words, you're no longer creating a spiritual appearance in yourself for others to create an impression. In fact, I would say, and I think you might agree here, that if realization means anything, it's that you have completely stopped pretending in every aspect, unless when you're pretending for the sake of enjoyment.
Yeah.
If you go to a rock concert, you're in the rock and roll environment, and you're just another attendee, so you play that game when you're there.
Exactly.
If you're at a restaurant, you don't act like an avaru. You just order food like everyone else. You laugh and enjoy the food. So this whole idea of being attached, and that as being a obstruction to appear attached in your daily living, that's nonsense. As long as you're perceiving, you're attached. If you see a world, you're in the field of attachment. Now, if there is not a part of you that is transcended at all, there's no amount of struggle and manipulation that's going to create realization.
Oh, exactly. Exactly. It's like when I go to LA, it's the land of smoke and mirrors. I enjoy it. I have fun, you know. If I go to India, okay. People there understand sannyas. They understand it. When I'm there, I wear the orange, no makeup. It's just, you know, that's the land of what is there. Doesn't mean that if I'm in a land of smoke and mirrors and I'm wearing makeup that I'm still not a sadhvi on some level. Doesn't mean it. There's no actions that are going to contradict that, you know. But I'm in this society here. This is the society I live in, and that's who we deal with. You know, people want to have these, you know, the realized beings as sages, as saints, as the saints. You know, well, saints are into the, you know, still in that process of sainthood, you know. And one goes through more of that aspect along the way. But yeah, when realization finally takes place, then one becomes utterly normal. Utterly normal. All the things of being sainthood and all of that is a lot of the phenomena of Kundalini happens during that point, you know, when you have a lot of miracles and all this other stuff that can take place. But with realization, it all falls away. There's no higher, no lower. What the heck is the specialness there? You know, there's not going to be any more of this drama. Just not. And so what does it matter what you wear?
All the saints I've ever heard of are dead.
All the saints are dead? Well, yeah, we all die, you know, and some of us die a little earlier than the body. Dead, okay, ball game over, you know. But yeah, there's no longer this idea of, oh, I have to appear like this, or I have to appear like that, or second judging or second thinking about how I appear to others, you know, if they're going to accept it, if they're not, you know, that's the realm of ego. You know, when you get to this point, you don't give a rat's ass, you know, how they're going to perceive it. It is what it is. It's like even Ramana. Even Ramana, when he was there, he had